Hey guys, my name's Chris, and this is my story. I grew up in a very Christian household. My dad's a pastor, and my mom also works in the church, and my brother is studying to be a pastor, so very Christian. And I knew all the stories growing up, all the gospel stories, like the big names, the lost son, all of it. I knew it all by heart, but I didn't connect with them. I didn't truly understand what they meant. And because of that, it caused me to ask a lot of questions when I entered into middle school, questions about my identity, questions about whether God really loved me because I was bullied a lot. And that bullying made me really insecure and made me really self-conscious about who I was and where my identity was. And I was so confused that I just began looking to people for affirmation for my identity. And because of that, I entered into high school with something I could call a roller coaster faith. And a roller coaster faith for me was just I found life in a group of friends that partied on the weekends, that just partied all the time. And I would do that with them, yet I would go to church on Sundays, and I would go do Young Life during the week and be in Bible studies and all of that. And I had a really great small group, but I would still go out and I would lie to my family, I would lie to my church and all my Christian friends and tell them that I was doing really well when really I was just partying all the time, and I was just trying to fill myself up with just affirmation from people. And that just caused me to just get really lost, and I began to feel a lot of almost hate towards the church and towards my family background, because I felt like I had a lot of expectations on my shoulders with my dad being a pastor to be as good as he is and to live up to the Boel name. And because of that, I just started getting really lost, and I started saying, screw all that, I want to go my own way, I want to go do my own thing. And that just caused me to really look at God for the wrong reasons, and it caused me to really feel like I went to God only for justification. I used God just to justify my actions. I would go back to Him whenever I felt like I needed affirmation. Like, I can go do whatever I want because I can turn around and say, hey God, will you forgive me? And He'll be like, sure Chris, I forgive you. And I'll go back and do whatever I want. And that just went on throughout high school. And my senior year, God stopped justifying me. God began to show me how empty I really was and how lost I really was. And I didn't see it at the time. It actually caused me to become even more lost. Going through my senior year and then entering into college, I began to get even more involved with the drug scene and with the partying scene at Radford. And I just continued down that line for about a month until Cru Fall Retreat. And at Fall Retreat, God used that time and used the community there and the friendships I had been building to show me that He did love me and that my identity was with Him. And He used it to remind me that Jesus died for me and that Jesus hung at a cross for my sins, and that every bad thing I've ever done was in the iron of those nails that were hammered into Him. And God just reaffirmed me and told me, hey, I love you. I don't want to justify your actions, and I'm not going to be that guy for you, but I want you to know that I truly love who you are. And because He did that and used that time and filled me with His Spirit and with His compassion, I turned back to Him, and I haven't turned back since, and I don't plan on it. And I've just been growing so much in my faith ever since then. And I'm not going to go and say that I'm becoming so much better and I'm becoming a perfect person now, because I'm not. I still deal so often with my problems of insecurities, and it makes me not want to go out, and it makes me not want to die to myself, and it makes me not want to pick up my cross because I'm scared of judgment. But it helps that I know my identity rests in Christ, and I know that my true identity is God, and that God will always love me and will always be there for me. That's my story. What's yours?